Okay, so to get started, I have about 1.5 pounds of carrots. Now these are just organic carrots I got at the grocery store. We're gonna start off by just kind of chopping the top off of these guys. We don't wanna lose a whole lot because we're gonna be using all of this for our ground taco meat. Now, you know, the funny thing is I have seen carrots used for so many different things in the plant-based meat world. I recently saw a video where Merle over at Goodful made Tabitha Brown's carrot hot dog, and you know, people always say that stuff comes out pretty good. I know the carrot hot dog doesn't really taste like a hot dog, but supposedly it comes out good. I haven't tried it yet. Okay, so our carrots are clean. It's gonna suck in a lot of that water. That's okay. At this point, we're just gonna chop the carrots, you know, probably roughly finger size or smaller. It's not gonna make a huge difference how big they are in the end. We're just gonna throw them into a bowl. Why do carrot hot dogs and carrot salmon get all the love? Like, what about carrot tacos? Why is that not like a thing? I looked it up, there's nobody doing it. So at this point, all we're gonna do is we're gonna toss these in a little bit of olive oil, and then we're just gonna sprinkle in a little bit, teaspoon of soy sauce, over toss the carrots, top the carrots, over top of the carrots. Now all that soy sauce is doing is just gonna get the meatiness started. We're not really, this isn't like the end all of the flavor, it's just a touch of the flavor. So at this point, I have my oven preheating for 500 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna drop these on a baking sheet, throw them in the oven, and bake them for just 15 minutes. We're gonna roast them for 15 minutes. We don't want them to go too long because I don't want the carrots to get soft. Still want the carrots to be firm. I just want them to be semi-roasted in this oil. So while the carrots are roasting, let's prep the rest of the ingredients. Let's make the taco seasoning. Now, just to celebrate the fact that Taco Bell is testing some new plant-based meats, I don't know if you've heard that or not, but it sounds like it's gonna be pretty good. They're gonna be testing their own meats, and I've also heard that they might even be using some Beyond Meat. I'm gonna make a Taco Bell-esque copycat recipe. So to do that, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon paprika, 1 teaspoon chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon cayenne pepper. And now my own variations to make this extra meaty. We're gonna be adding about 1/2 teaspoon of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of my Shangy beef broth mix. Now this is a vegan beef broth. Any vegan beef broth flavoring powder will work here. Now we're also gonna add about 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon flour. And now this is optional. It's only gonna add to the mouthfeel and make it feel more like that ground taco meat. I'm gonna add about 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. That is really gonna give it a thicker feeling, you know, something that's a little bit more chewy instead of just like individual little pieces of meat. That's gonna kind of help keep the meat together. Now at this point, we just wanna whisk this all together, make sure all of these ingredients are nice and combined. It's really gonna help once we add this into the ground meat to kind of put it together. Okay, so let's set this to the side. And then at this point, we just need a clove of garlic. And all I'm gonna do is don't even need it prepped. I'm just gonna kind of chop it in half. Just gonna smash it. It's probably gonna make things a little easier. We're gonna do 1/4 of a yellow onion. And that's just gonna be peeled and then roughly chopped. We're not doing like a whole lot of extensive prep here because this is all kind of going into a small food processor. And honestly, I'm just gonna set this 1/4 onion to the side. I'm not 100% sure if we're gonna use all of that 1/4 onion. When I was testing this recipe, I just chopped up a little bit and threw it together and it came out pretty good. So we'll just eyeball it and see. In the end, it just might be, you know, like a 1/4 cup, you know, a smaller portion of that. And then I love cilantro in my taco meat. So we're just gonna kind of just roughly chop that up. And again, we're just gonna throw it in with the carrots when they're ready. So now at this point, we're gonna take our carrots out of the oven, throw them in a colander, and then I'm gonna run them under cold water. I wanna stop that cooking. I want them to kind of firm up pretty quick. I don't want them to keep cooking and steam themselves and get soft. Okay, so cooled the carrots down. They feel pretty good. There's some soft, like I said there would be, and some really firm carrot here. I think this is gonna come out perfect. And exactly what I said, that 1.5 pounds of carrots cooked down to almost exactly 1 pound, which is perfect. It's exactly what we need for this recipe. Okay, so at this point, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the carrots in to a little small food processor at a time. In this first batch, I'm just gonna add all of the garlic, and we'll add, you know, some of the onion here. We'll just kind of keep adding the onion until it looks good. in the end result. Let's throw the top on and we're just going to pulse. We don't want this to go to a mush. We want to make sure that we have individual consistent carrot bites. Oh, this is looking so good. This is gonna be perfect. And then just so you can see, it's just small, kind of like fine pieces of the carrot. Just imagine like the little individual pieces of meat almost. Let's pulse this half. Now this half we might pulse down just a little bit more because it's the smaller pieces. Might get a little softer thing that's gonna kind of work in as a binder. We'll add some of these onions. Yeah, maybe it is gonna be that whole quarter onion. Add some cilantro right off the bat. And let's pulse this until... So real quick, I actually got that idea to like blend the second portion down finer from Nikki Vegan. She made a veggie burger where she had like the consistency, but then she took half the mixture and blended it down super fine to make a paste to make the binder. And I just thought that was brilliant. So yeah, that's where I got that idea. So back to the video. Okay, so now we're getting into some meatiness. Now, part of the Taco Bell seasoning packet, like when you look at the Taco Bell flavors, their ingredients, that includes yeast extract. Yeast extract, Marmite, is just a very meaty ingredient. Yeast extract is pretty much pure glutamate. It's just savoriness is all it is. We're gonna add a good sized teaspoon to our carrots, and we're gonna give them a good mix in. Okay, you know what? And honestly, with the amount of carrot that we have here, I'm actually gonna let's do 2 teaspoons. So at this point, we have some meaty carrots. I'm gonna go over to the stove. We're gonna throw about a tablespoon of olive oil into a skillet. We're gonna heat that skillet up to a medium-high heat. We want it pretty hot at first. We're gonna throw these carrots in. We're gonna saute them up for just a moment. That's when we're gonna add the taco seasoning. You're gonna add all of that seasoning to this mix. Make sure you mix it in really, really well. Once it's mixed in well, you're gonna start adding some water, about a tablespoon at a time, until this mixture starts to thicken up. And it really is wild how much this actually looks like ground beef. It's kind of crazy. We'll probably have to add some more water to thin this out just a bit. This stuff is unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this stuff. Oh my God. Now real quick, just for fun, my local grocery store was out of tofuti, so I'm gonna make my own little sour cream mixture real quick. We're just gonna use some silken tofu, and we're just gonna kind of mix up. Now commonly for this, I would use like a lactic acid. Lactic acid works really great in this scenario. It's gonna give it that sour cream taste. We're gonna be using this on the taco, so I'm just gonna use some lime juice. The lime juice works in this. It gives it like a little citrusy taste. The lactic acid really works really well because it gives it that like dairy taste. It makes it taste like real sour cream. If you have lactic acid, use a pinch of lactic acid, probably just a 1/4 teaspoon. Now again, just to get the texture right, we're gonna be using about a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Whip this really quickly into the mixture. Now I'm just gonna add just a touch of salt to this, and really this is going to give us a pretty good sour cream consistency. The gums along with the tofu really nail it. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's build our tacos. We're just going to heat up some tortillas. I just got these little street corn tortillas. Commonly I'd make mine, but I just felt like being lazy today. We're just gonna top these with some of those leftover onions, touch of cilantro, who does a touch of cilantro on tacos? I'm sorry. And then I'm just gonna give it a little blop of my sour cream. We don't need a whole lot on there. I mean, look at these. Look at these tacos. Just look at that. I don't think somebody would know the difference. Okay, baby. We are finally eating something that's for me. I love tacos. How much do I eat tacos?
Oh my God, all the time. It's all you ever want.
I love tacos. It's what I want for dinner most of the time. So
they look just like tacos. Here we go.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is really good. Delicious.
Yeah, I mean, really.
I don't think I would know, like, you know, that this wasn't meat, you know?
It's different.
Looking at it.
Like, it's definitely a little bit different, but like you wouldn't question it. You know, like it's different. You might think that some of the texture might come from the onion or something like that.
So I can say that like, it's definitely not like you know, a big chunky piece of meat that you bite into or anything like that. Like, but it definitely tastes like taco meat. You know, you wouldn't question it. It's not like it tastes like even heavy carrot or anything like that.
No, there's very.
It's just really like flavorful. It's kind of like a Taco Bell taco meat flavoring, although better. I don't really I know I might get heat for this, but I think Taco Bell tacos are gross. But this is better.
It is. It's honestly
delicious, and it's tons of flavor.
Yeah. So real quick, I've asked you on the past on my community tab what you felt about the taste tests. These are the new taste tests. If you got to this point in the video, I would love to make this video do a little bit better than some of my previous videos. So make sure you please click the like button. It really does help. And leave a comment in the description below about the taste test. Let me know that you got to the taste test section. That'll help me just keep the taste tests in the video more in the future, because I like them being in the video, but I also want YouTube to promote my videos. So it's a win-win for everybody. That's it. We have a ton of taco meat left, so let's
Awesome.
pack it up for lunch tomorrow.
So exciting.
Yeah.
This was really good.
It is, I know.
Yeah.